Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into a profound mystery, one that honestly affects so many of us. Have you ever wondered why we experience chronic pain, disease, or just this heavy, persistent emotional discomfort that we literally can't seem to shake? Well, what if it's not a malfunction at all? What if it's actually a blocked river of energy that is just desperately trying to flow?
To help figure this out, we used Google Notebook to synthesize the really comprehensive work of Dr. Joseph Peter Delaney. He's an expert with a whole alphabet of credentials: PhD, CSI, FIBMS, MBSLM, and his fascinating research explores how pain, disease, and discomfort are actually the result of an obstruction, a blockage of the body's vital, free-flowing, healing energy. Dr. Delaney shows us exactly how trauma builds these literal dams in our nervous system, and more importantly, how we can tear those dams right down.
So, let's look at our roadmap for this journey. 1. The vital healing energy. 2. Fear as the obstruction. 3. The fragmented self. 4. Pain from blocked flow. 5. Rewiring through neuroplasticity. And finally, 6. Restoring your natural flow. Let's get right into it.
Part 1. The vital healing energy. The river.
Before we can even begin to understand why we hurt, we kind of need to understand our baseline. Psychologists often call our optimal state flow. You know, that feeling where you're deeply absorbed, action just feels totally effortless, and you're aligned with your true self. But there's actually an ancient naturopathic principle that describes this on a strictly biological level. Vis medicatrix natori. Now, let's de-jargonize that. It simply means vital healing energy. It's the profound, inherent, and incredibly intelligent tendency of your body and your mind to heal themselves, just as long as the obstacles are removed. You see, you are fundamentally designed for wholeness. Your baseline isn't struggle. Your baseline is a spontaneous, effortless drive toward health. Think of it like a really powerful river, constantly flowing toward wellness.
Part 2. Fear as the obstruction. The dam.
But if we're designed for all this effortless flow, why do we suffer so much? Well, here is the absolute crucial point. Chronic fear literally blocks your vital energy. When we experience things like developmental trauma or even just severe chronic stress, our system reacts to protect us. It builds a fear-based dam. Authors on energy and healing who are highlighted throughout Dr. Delaney's work note that this chronic fear directly disrupts the body's self-organizing healing capacities. The organism, which is you, is desperately trying to heal, right? But the fear of your own internal signals repeatedly slams the brakes on that process. So the river of your essential self just hits a massive concrete wall.
Part 3. The fragmented self. Splitting the river.
Now, to survive this massive blockade, the self literally fragments. It splits through a psychological process called structural dissociation. On one side, we get what are called apparently normal parts, or ANPs. These are the parts of you that go to work, pay the bills, smile, and manage daily life by strictly, absolutely avoiding anything painful. On the other side, we have the emotional parts, or EPs. These parts are stuck. They're fixated in the trauma, holding on to those intense threat and survival states. And look, this division is actually incredibly adaptive in the short term because it keeps you functioning in a hostile environment. But long term, you end up sacrificing your essential, authentic center just to keep the machine running. You are literally split in two.
Part 4. Pain from blocked flow. Stagnant waters.
If you've ever found yourself wondering why emotional blockages actually physically hurt, this is exactly why. The symptoms of blocked energy manifest as real somatic pain. We're talking flashbacks, sudden storms of intense emotion, autonomic dysregulation, and even chronic muscular bracing. You know that feeling when your shoulders are just constantly glued to your ears? Yeah, that. And here is the major paradigm shift. These symptoms are not a malfunction, not at all. They are the friction of your body's vital healing energy, that vis medicatrix naturae we talked about, colliding head-on with the fear blockade. The physical disease and pain you feel is the direct result of your system's innate drive to heal violently crashing into a dam of fear and avoidance.
And this dynamic creates a really tragic but incredibly common scenario, perfectly captured by this clinical observation: the body leaving the room while performance continues. Have you ever felt like that? It's the classic highly driven adult who functions perfectly on the outside because the apparently normal part is completely running the show, but they are entirely disconnected from the blocked, intense physical pain churning inside them. They are performing, sure, but they aren't truly present.
Part 5. Rewiring through neuroplasticity. Dismantling the dam.
Okay, here is the fantastic news. We are not stuck this way. The fear blockade is absolutely not permanent, and that is all thanks to neuroplasticity.
That's your brain's amazing capacity to literally change its physical structure and function in response to new experiences. Just as childhood trauma altered your developing brain to build that dam in the first place, we can use targeted experiences to form brand new associative networks. We can safely re-expose the nervous system to what it fears under very safe conditions and literally re-encode the brain. We can dismantle that concrete wall piece by piece.
So how do we actually do this? Dr. Delaney synthesizes the solution into 3 interlocking processes. Step 1, cultivate safety and regulation. The fear just has to be dialed down so your organism's natural healing impulses aren't immediately blocked. Step 2, foster respectful relationships between your parts. Those high-functioning ANPs and the traumatized EPs, they need to start talking to each other without total phobia. And step 3, engage in intrinsically meaningful embodied activities. Do things that promote flow. Things you absolutely love doing just for the pure joy of doing them. This reinforces those healthy neural patterns of integrated present-centered functioning.
Part 6. Restoring your natural flow. Freeing the essential self.
When you finally dismantle that dam of fear, you escape what is often called the bondage of self. But based on everything we've learned, we now know this really means escaping the bondage of our traumatized parts. Unblocking this energy totally frees you from the tyranny of trauma. You shift from being a fragmented collection of exhausted, defensive parts into a unified, authentic, and beautifully resonant center. Your vital healing force can finally course freely through your body and mind once more.
I want to leave you with a thought to carry with you today. If your physical discomfort, your pain, your anxiety is simply your own vital healing energy, actively trying to break through a wall of fear, what first step can you take today to help remove just a single pebble from that dam? I challenge you to reframe your pain today. It is definitely not a life sentence. It is a beautifully interrupted journey toward healing that is just waiting for you to clear the path. Keep learning, keep flowing, and I'll see you in the next explainer.